Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I'm Mark, and with me today, special treat, friend of the podcast. Hi Val, how you doing?
Hey, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute because where have you been of late?
Everywhere. Lately, for the last month, I just got back from Burning Man. So it's my first time spending 30 days out there. And I didn't hate it. I actually really enjoyed it. So
That's amazing. I would lose my mind and start killing people.
I don't know that you would. You don't mind being in the elements, right?
No, I don't, but people drive me nuts sometimes if I have too many people around me for too long.
True.
That's when I start to lose my good nature. But the first movie you saw when you got back was The Long Walk.
And I have been waiting to see this film. You know that I don't usually watch trailers. I like to go into things pretty clean these days. And I did end up seeing the trailer to this film a while ago. I have not read the book, but I knew the minute I saw this trailer that this was going to be the movie for me.
Yeah, I used to be a big Stephen King reader back in the day when I was a young man, and but I never read this one. I didn't read this collection of shorts that had this in it, and I tried not to watch trailers because it's so easy to accidentally see them. I don't go out on my way to watch them.
Yes.
So you can't help but know the basic premise going in.
Yeah.
Which is there's a contest, he said with air quotes, if you're not watching, but only listening, to win $100,000 and a wish.
Did they actually say the amount of money? Was it?
I believe it said $100,000, but I could be wrong.
My question was I missed that. I know they said a lot of money.
It was like once at the beginning, and I swear to God, that's what they said. That could be wrong.
It was only $100,000.
Well, let's remember this is at a time of, here come the air quotes again, national reconciliation.
Yeah.
After a civil war.
Right. And they don't say, this is one of those things that I do like about the film, is that they don't specifically say a time frame, right? This could be now. It could be
in 1970, whatever, when Stephen King wrote this.
Yeah. And I really like that because it very much feels like it could be now. It could be 10 years from now, and we don't know, but it kind of goes back in time, which I feel like we usually get anytime there's like a reckoning, air quotes, yes. I'll go with your air quotes, some kind of like civil unrest, reckoning, post-war, something like that going on. In a lot of written stories and films, we see things go backwards. We see the coloring of the film kind of go back in the day. You see older cars. It's nothing new and shiny. It's just kind of dismal and kind of back in the day, quote unquote, visuals. And so that I did see coming. Do you feel like it was a little bit like Hunger Game feel at the beginning a little bit?
Yeah, I was going to make that point as well. This is like Hunger Games before Hunger Games, because people volunteer, and I won't use air quotes because they actually do have to volunteer to be entered into the lottery to represent their state in the Long Walk. There are only 50 contestants. However, the word volunteer is beautifully and repeatedly analyzed throughout the course of this film.
Are we doing spoilers? Are we skirting around? Are we skirting around things a little bit?
We'll skirt as much as we have to, or as much as we can, but sometimes you just have to let a little something slip.
Yeah.
But no, so they talk about volunteerism, but it's because, and you're right. I like the fact that while the time period is indeterminate, so too is the actual circumstance of the conflict. And it's the same thing. And I think people are they're loving this film. I saw someone said The Long Walk is the movie Civil War wanted to be. Alex Garland's Civil War. And I'm like, no, it's literally this is post Civil War.
Yeah, because
Civil War doesn't explain why we're at war, who's with what, who did this or the other thing.
Yeah.
And this
And, I
is,
mean,
yeah, it's not there. But I like that. Because when I walked out of, we walk out of these screenings, we have to give comments to the studio reps. And so I came out, and my comment was that, in calmer times, this movie would be a great conversation starter.
yeah.
Okay, so we saw this film Monday. It is now Friday.
And a lot happened between.
And a lot has happened this week. And I said, but now, and even on Monday, I said, but right now, this film is really a litmus test for everyone. People are going to see what they want to see. They're going to ascribe meaning to what they want to ascribe meaning to.
I mean, that's art, though, right? That's like every movie that you see, every music.
Yes.
And we talk about this. You and I have had this conversation before. Either you were on my show or I'm on your show, or we're standing at the end of a screening in a theater. Is that one of the reasons why, I love this medium so much? I love art so much, is that I'm going to hear a song and you're going to hear a song, and we're going to get something different out of it. I'm going to see a movie, you're going to see a movie. And a lot of times what I love is your and I conversation after a film, because often we're on the opposite sides of how we see things. And so us having that conversation is one of the cool things that I love about seeing a film, is that I saw it this way, you saw it that way. And then we come together and we're like, oh, okay.
It's a conversation, and that's great. But like I was going to say that, but this film right now feels more Monday. Forget Mike. So Monday, it felt like right now, it feels like that. It's not a conversation starter. It's a position galvanizer. Where people are going to go, yes, exactly. And that's what everyone is doing right now with everything. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm done. See, it's just more proof. It's more confirmation bias that this is what I want. Then we do not talk politics as much as humanly possible on this show, or on your shows for that matter.
Because, I like to jump right into it if we can.
Oh, okay. Well, the problem now with the long problematic is that on Wednesday, and we're Utah based, an hour away from us, there was a political assassination.
I mean,
fuck beans, Val.
I mean, I think using that word of political assassination is probably one of those key triggers right now, because I see it as, a public speaker from a very specific side of politics was killed.
And I can understand why people in general would like to categorize it that way.
Yes.
I categorize it as a political assassination for the same reason. You have to politicize, or you have to define Malcolm X and Martin Luther King's assassinations as political assassinations, because they were not politicians, but they were politically inclined. They were speaking to people, and what they were saying and who they were saying it to was not seen by some people as politically desirable. And so a political assassination does not have to involve an air quote politician. It just needs to be meant to influence the politics around that person. And that's why I use that definition.
Yeah. And so I think, without getting too political, just to say some things, is that we've had a lot of political assassinations lately then.
I am not a fan. Everyone is bringing up Minnesota. It's like, yes.
And I think that what I'm worried about this film is that, because not only did we have a shooting at this college of this young man, however you want to categorize it, it was a shooting at a university in front of thousands of young people, and others were there. He was killed, and on the same day we had a shooting at a high school.
At a high school in
by
Colorado.
A high school person that didn't even have his driver's license yet. And then right now, if you are scrolling through TikTok, there is a shooting that has not even been really on the news yet in Boston at another college, right?
Which
So
college? Just my curiosity.
in Boston, it literally, I just right
It
before
just
we
says
got
Boston.
on, it's Boston. That's all I got right now. And now we have a film coming out today, of young men at the just graduating high school age and college age,
Yep.
just babies, that are volunteering, and I will say that in air quotes because we'll get to that in a minute, to do the long walk, to try and make themselves better, to try and build hope, again in quotes, for their country and to win a wish. But they know if they lose, they will literally get shot point blank in their face.
In the street.
And I feel, because I love art and I love film, and you and I are here because we love what film can do and we want to support film. I hate to think that people will not go see this film this weekend and give it the kudos that it deserves on such great filmmaking because of these instances that have happened. But I understand why they won't, right? But it's too bad that is probably going to be something that happens, because the message of this film, the writing, take politics out of it if you can.
Yeah.
The message of this film that has nothing to do with politics, there is some things you could put in the political realm.
Right.
But the human message in this film, the morality message, the dream message, the what should I think if I can think on my own message, the way that these characters are written. There's so much about this film that I want people to see in theaters, and now I'm kind of worried that they won't support this film, because for good reason.
Yeah, and that's not it's not ideal, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This movie deserves to be seen in the theaters for all of the narrative reasons and quality writing reasons that you just talked about, but also from a technical standpoint. Let's talk about movies. It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
There's some lovely cinematography in here. There are some great aerials. There's some great low angle stuff. There's some disturbing stuff, but as a piece of cinema, it's lovely to look at, and you should want to look at it on a larger screen. And
Cooper Hoffman and David Jonsson. These are some of the best performances I've seen all year. Now, I know that I have a lot of movies to catch up on. Yeah. Because I've maybe seen, like, outside of Sundance, maybe 10 theatrical movies this year. But I didn't know Mark Hamill was in it until the close-up came on him. I thought it was a different actor because, again, I didn't pay a ton of attention to the trailer. I saw what I needed to see and I got out, and I leaned over in the theater. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that
Mark Hamill?
Is that Luke Skywalker? Like, is that Mark? And for me, for him to have this role, because we see him, those of us who really know what he can do, we know his voiceover work, right? Yes, we've seen him in all the Star Wars movies and things like that, but he is an incredible actor, and we usually just hear it in his voice for voiceover work. But the fact that he could bring his face to that voice in this film is amazing. And if you don't know who Cooper Hoffman is, he's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son.
That I did not know. I would have found that out eventually.
Yeah, but that's the amazing thing about it, is that you see him as his own person, as an actor, and it's not until you look him up and you realize that is who he is. He's been in a few movies, and I keep forgetting that who his dad is, which is a testament to his talents and him doing it on his own. And this kid in this film had so many amazing moments where he felt like, this powerful young man, that's so kind of just out there to do something, right? And then he has these moments where he's just this little boy in the film. There's times where he's carrying his backpack like a little 6-year-old on his way to kindergarten and having these moments. And I'm just like, these little details in this film that make you care about every single person on that screen. And there's 45 boys, right?
50.
45,
Let's start 50.
plus 50 boys that are on that screen. And every single time one of them dies, you care about them because of the way this film is made, which leads me to hate almost every other superhero movie out there that can't even give us characterization for 5 characters for us to care about. And in this film, it's those little details, Mark. It's the different way that they're dressed, or the different thing in their walk, or the accent, or how their hair is done, or how they're palling up with someone. And you care about them without knowing very little about these people.
Yeah. That aspect of it boils down to the script because it has to, because it's literally 50 boys and a dozen soldiers in a couple vehicles walking. That's it. That is, I mean, it's aside from the fact that they actually walk over 300 miles. This is a chamber piece, which means if those characterizations do not work, the movie is not going to work.
Yeah.
You could almost put this story on stage. That would be an interesting adaptation, because all 50 guys don't have to be on stage at once.
No,
because they're spread out.
Really, I would actually go from
side to side and around. I mean, it's an interesting concept. If someone out there would like to adapt it, I'd be happy to help. But yes, those characterizations have to be written properly. But then they have to be.
It's like you said, though, it's also the cinematography, right? Mm-hmm. It's also whoever put the set dressing together and the costuming. It's also each one of those individual actors and the director working together to create whatever character that is supposed to be. None of the characters that are on this screen are throwaway characters. Not one main character, not one side character. Like there are. Not yet. I feel like every single person that is shown on the lens in this film has a purpose and a reason for being there. There was not one thrown away character in there. I mean, you've been on, I'm sure, a set of a film before. I've been an extra in a movie before, and you often don't get anything. It's like, here, you're in this shot, bring your clothes, you're going to wear that, go sit over there, look over here, right? Mm-hmm. You had extras in this film that that gave us key material of what was coming or what was happening.
Yeah.
And that were a part of the story. And to me, I love it when a filmmaker doesn't just put something there because they think there needs to be something in that hole, right? Yeah. This film was not afraid of having silent moments. It was not afraid of having stark locations on screen. And it wasn't overly dialogued. I don't know if that's the right way to say that.
There was a lot of times when the only sound was feet.
Yes.
And not the in a violent nature feet.
My brain went to the same place.
But there's a lot of that. There's a lot of just the rain. Mm-hmm. Because that's all you're thinking about is walking through the rain. Yeah. And that's all that you get. You don't get any needless fill-in dialogue. All the dialogue that's there is important. Yeah. And that's probably why this film clocks under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's not unnecessarily bloated. Mm-hmm. What's funny is I was like, Francis Lawrence directed this. I'm like, okay, mm-hmm. My brain is, when it comes to like names, man, it like a steel sieve. My brain is. So I had to go look. I'm like, oh, what is he? Oh, he did the Hunger Games ballad. Red Sparrow, mm-hmm. the Three Mockingjay or the Mockingjay. So he did those movies. He did I Am Legend, and I was like, oh shit, he did Constantine, which ironically was his first feature.
It's all very similar.
So yeah, I mean, resistance to a greater situation. So. But yeah, Mark Hamill in this as the Major.
Yeah.
And you watch it and you're like, I don't know what the Major's position actually is, because on the one hand, he's Emperor Palpatine. And on the other hand, he's just a guy that runs the state he just runs the Long Walk.
Yeah, I think he's just the face of what they want this to represent,
of
right?
the state, and I'll use my air quotes
Yeah.
again, which is one of those
Yeah.
that again, that's a loaded phrase.
Yeah.
Because he gives the propaganda state speech
Yeah.
at the beginning when he's talking to the boys at the start of the walk. And you listen to it, and he's the propaganda machine. He is Hanoi Hammill in this movie. So
I feel like what I kind of felt from him was, have you seen Handmaid's Tale?
no, I read the book, and I considered that
So
the definitive version, and I didn't want to
yeah,
watch it.
so I read the second book, not the original, but and it's the second book is all about Aunt, the lady that's in charge of all of the handmaids. I can't think of her name right now. I'm the
Right.
same as you, but she's like the aunt in charge of everyone, and the second book is all about her, and she's the one that gathers up the girls and makes them feel like they know their duties, but then also comes down hard on them when they're supposed to follow the rules, but then totally is there for them if they need it. Like, it's this kind, I feel like he is that, right? He is in the middle of whatever is up here, and you have everyone else down here. He's just this puppet that knows what his job is, but he looks hardcore to everyone involved because they don't know what's pulling those strings.
And I would argue that is not true, because we were specifically given an incident not associated with the long walk with him in it.
Right, but she, again, with the same character, is it still that middle ground, right?
I believe
he can still pull all those things right here, but I don't think he's the main.
I don't think he is either. That's why I find his position very strange.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly in charge of the long walk, because everyone understands that the major is in charge of the long walk and has been, right? Mm-hmm. But he also deviated into this side flashback of one of our characters that has nothing to do with the long walk. So it's a weird, if there's one narrative hole that I would like explained to me, it is that.
Yeah.
But it does not detract from the overall quality of this film in any way. It's just, I mean, it's there, and it emphasizes his dedication to the state.
Yeah.
No matter who the state is, no matter which side of whatever war won, it doesn't matter. He is in, right? He is all in. He does not actually care about the boys at all. He doesn't, nothing he does is designed to make them, to pick them up, except to maybe piss them off and give them an adrenaline boost, which happens a couple times. And then he sells it as, there it is. That's the attitude we're looking for. And it's like, but the fact that it's all on television, again, it's like, is he the producer in the booth? I don't know.
I mean, but also we don't ever see from the point of view of whoever is watching. So we don't know what they're even allowing people to see. Right. So for me, because they never showed, we never at one time saw a television.
Nope.
We never one time saw anybody watching anything except for from the side of the road. So to me, they could be telling them anything. They could be, so we assume in our minds that we assume all of these boys that are in this walk have watched it on TV before, right? So they give us these assumptions, but they never really show us what an actual person gets to see, because there's no way that they show everything.
No, it's not C-SPAN. It's not on 24 hours.
There's no way. It was funny because when I did see the trailer for the first time, I really thought that it was Brian Cox, who was Mark Hamill's character. And I feel like he had to have really honed in on Brian Cox for this character, because
and I thought it was hold on. Because I have to, again, my brain with that.
Our brains are the same. It's totally fine. But while you're looking that up, I immediately, when I had spoken with someone after the screening, and they had told me that they had read the book and that the ending is different in the book than in the movie, I needed to go see who the screen adaptation was from, and it's JT Mollner, and he does not have very many credits here. And the fact that this worked out so well for him, I think is a big deal. He has a couple things that I've heard of, one thing that I've seen, but like I immediately wanted to go see who did the adaptation for the screenplay.
Oh wow, he did Strange Darling.
Yeah. Red Room.
Yeah.
Which is a short, so obviously he knows how to take a short story and make it into a bigger story.
But you can change the end and keep the narrative import the same.
I'm not angry about the ending change at all. But I could see how either way, however it ended, if you would have gone with the original or with the way that it ended here, you will have made our current state of affairs a group angry. Yes. I'm glad I'm happy with how it ended a little bit. There was a little thing in the end that I would have liked a little bit more on, but I get it. I do feel it was a little unfinished compared to the rest of the movie, but I think I might be the only one that maybe feels that way. I don't know.
If it is unfinished, it's not. It's oh, by the way, it's Ted Levine from Silence of the Lambs. The villain, the psychopath. So right. So and actually, one of the reasons he came to mind is because I watched Shutter Island not long ago, and he plays it's a guard at the mental institution, and it's like it just feels the same. It's the exact same feel to it.
Oh, so, I like him.
Yeah, he's really good. But so that's where I was. That every time I'd see it until they pounded Mark Hamill into my head. Every time I saw it, I'm like, it's him. That's who it is. It's him. And it would that would also have been a great choice. So it would have been a great choice.
I'm just glad Mark's out there doing more on-screen things, and he's done a couple on-screen things over the last couple of years that I'm happy with, because he's such a great actor. If you have not looked into him outside of Star Wars, you really should. His voice work is absolutely crazy.
Well, it's Joker. It's not bad. But so on this one, it's like in the end, like I said, so we roll back around. It's like, what is this movie? Is it a good piece of entertainment? Or as entertaining as something like this can be? Sure. But again, we saw it on Monday. Wednesday happened. It's like, geez. It's like, I go see it for what it is, not for what you want it to be, not for anything other than that.
I wanted to go see a good piece of cinema, a well-made movie with a good script, good acting, good cinematography. This was a well-made cinema piece for me. I didn't go in wanting or needing anything but to have a good cinematic experience. And people are like, well, I mean, that's what you should get every time you go to the movies, but you don't. Like,
no, exactly. Yes, that's what you should get every time you go to the
we
cinema.
See enough movies that sometimes I go to the movies and I am just there to purely be entertained. Yep. And just because I'm being entertained does not mean that I am seeing a well-crafted film, right? It means that the film was good enough to make me laugh or cry or jump out of my seat, and I was entertained and I was excited, and I was smiling or whatever after it, or jumped and scared and whatever. But it doesn't mean that every movie that we see is a good piece of cinema. This film, to me, and I'm saying this knowing that I have a lot to catch up on, is my favorite movie of the year so far.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
This is it for me. Like, I know that there are other films that I want to see that I haven't seen yet that might, throw it out of that top spot. But right now, this gave me exactly what I needed. It was a thoughtful piece that is, I love something that's going to cause conversation, no matter what it is. Doesn't have to be political, but we're here having a discussion about it. And I'm not trying to find things to talk about, right? Sometimes movies come up and we're like, oh, well, okay, it's been 5 minutes. We talked about it. It's over. That's all we have for this movie.
Right.
This is a conversation piece. And there's so many aspects of the film that you could talk about, taking politics out of it. Let's talk about how one of these boys was raised. Let's talk about why this one person thinks that they need to do this, you know, like what is their family about, what is their background about, talking about those things, talking about the mom in the movie. That could be a whole other discussion, and her background and what she was doing. And there's just so many different things. The cinematography, I could talk about cinematography for an hour. Mark and I love beautiful cinematography. And so we could literally sit at dinner and just talk about the nuances of the lighting of this film. And how there are so many shots that are either here and I'm pointing directly in front of my face or below my face. Not a lot of shots. The ones that when you do have a high shot in a film, if you're not aware of this, this is when you are showing that somebody's got the high ground. I'll go totally into Star Wars for that, right? And this filmmaker was very, very specific about where this camera was at all times to make you as an audience member feel like these things were happening to you. And when you feel like less of an onlooker and more like a part of the story, I feel like that is a movie that I like to be a part of.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that you like. Yeah. There's so much you can talk about on this film. There's so much we're not going to get to, and that's fine. You know, out there, go see it yourself and talk to someone about it. Talk to someone you didn't go to the theater with. Yeah. Just go, what'd you think of that? And they're probably going to tell you. So, the guy that shot this the person that shot this, Joe Willems, shot His House, which is a great movie, by the way, if you have not seen that.
I'm gonna write that down.
It's was it at Sundance 2 years ago, maybe? It's an immigrant story in the UK about where they're put. His House. He also shot Finch, which was an Apple TV movie with Tom Hanks. It's a science fiction film. Pretty different. And then worked on the Hunger Games stuff. So him and the director have a thing, and they probably do a lot of this, and they're like, and they know exactly what they're talking about. So that helps. A lot of directors find that cinematographer like, no, that's the guy I need for this.
Yeah.
So that's but it is shot beautifully. There's, I don't know that I would hang any of these images on my wall, but in all of the moments are depicted exactly the way they need to be depicted.
Yeah.
If I was going to pick a movie to hang on my wall, it's like basically any frame from The Magnificent Seven from a couple years ago. I think that movie was just shot ridiculously. Yeah. I mean, it's all art.
Original and new.
I haven't watched the original. Sorry.
I think like you said, like, there could be some moments that I would maybe hang, because not all of them are gruesome. I do want to say that there are some moments that are just beautiful, heartbreaking. It will pull at your heartstrings. It'll also make you just think about life in general.
Yep.
And then if you are squeamish at all, anytime you think they're going to pull the trigger, you got to look away, because I did not realize how vivid and how realistic they were going to do this. And I'm glad they leaned into it, because it's horrific. It's horrific that young boys, young humans would think that their life is so bad, or that they need to prove something so badly that they are willing to have something like this happen to them.
Yeah, that's it. And
it's brutal.
And yes, it's this weird. How can it be a unifying event, and yet be so incredibly brutal?
And they talk about it in the film, is that people, they're just so used to it now that there are kids just waiting, or families sitting on the side of the road waiting for the boys to pass and hoping, we don't know, they never say it, but maybe hoping to get to see, something bad happen, because it's just, it's what they know now. And they're desensitized, which comes up a lot in the moments in our world right now as well, is that, are we so desensitized to when we see stuff like this on the news or in movies or in, I don't ever want to be desensitized to this. I had to look away a lot in the film, because I don't want to see it, but even hearing it, you know, and to get back to the things that have happened this week, you know, my daughter's 23, scrolling through Instagram, and there's a video of the shooting of Charlie Kirk, and there's no warning. There's no blurred, this is going to be adult content. And she sees the bullet go right through his, I mean, she messaged me, like, it was so disturbing to her. And it should be, like, if it's not disturbing to you, like, so I get the people that maybe don't want to go to the movie this weekend, but at the same time, I really, really want you to go see it. Yes. And I do want you to have to look away. And I do want you to realize that you had to look away because of the way you feel. And if you are looking at it, like my husband will watch all of it, and I'll watch his face as he's watching it. And he's squeamish, and he's got, you know, he's like, oh, you know, like that kind of thing. And I'm not putting you down if it doesn't, maybe you watch horror films all the time, so it doesn't affect you anymore. But, you know, there's something about the movie and showing every moment of it, and then having the moments of the young men saying, don't look back, don't look,
right,
just keep walking, don't look back,
keep walking, because
you don't want that to become normal. One of the guys actually says that. He's like, you know, it's going to come to the point where we're not noticing it anymore, something like that. And he's like, that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah. Is when it doesn't bother him anymore that the young men behind him or in front of him are being shot. Yeah. There were so many cool, I don't want to say movie quotes, but dialogue moments in this film that hit with me. And I think the biggest one, and I wanted to post it all week, but again, with everything going on, I didn't want to take away from what's happening or to start something else. But in the film, there's a moment where we have, oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name? Because I'm just like you. I'm sick today, and I appreciate you putting up with me being sick on the show. But one of our main guys, not Hoffman, but the other one. Jonsson, but what's his character's name? Peter McFreeze. Pete. Yes. Pete says, and he's talking, and he says, because they're talking about why they're both there. And when we find out, you know, the reason why a few of the guys are there, but more importantly, at the moment, we find out a little bit why Raymond is there, Ray, who is Cooper Hoffman. And I'm not going to say why he's there. But Pete says, vengeance is not enough. And you can take that several different ways. And I took it in the way that a lot of times we get emotional about things that happen to us, right? And we need an immediate answer to it. And sometimes that immediate answer is to go to anger and hate and to get back at someone, that vengeance, right? Yep. And when Pete says vengeance is not enough, for me, it's think past vengeance, because you're going to have that vengeful moment. And then what do you have after that? It's not going to fix anything. Nope. And so think past the vengeance to something else that you could do to make the bigger picture better. And I think that's why Ray really loved Pete in the end, is because like he said, I see your vision. I see that you have something that I don't have. And I love the fact they talk about that earlier on. Yeah. And Pete's, you know, that's why I see the light. I try to see the light and everything. He goes, and Ray's like, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And he goes, you can. And Pete's like, it ain't easy. It is not easy. You gotta do it every day. Hard. Yeah. And you know, that's the flip side. It's not, you know, oh, turn the other cheek. It's like, that's hard. That's hard to not just to forgive a direct trespass against you, but to see anything in a terrible situation. Yeah. And it requires effort. It requires, it's an act of will. You have to want it. Yeah. So it's interesting. To go back real quick before we wap it up, you were talking about the families on the side of the road, maybe waiting to see a train wreck, if you will. Part of that
in this world, it might be jealousy that those people have the opportunity that they didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
And which is a weird way to look at it. But I was thinking about it when you were talking. I was like, yeah, it could be that, because it's not like these guys are one-off volunteers from their state. There's a lottery for all the volunteers in a state. There are lots. So jealousy is going to be a thing.
Well, I also think they talk about how despair is in all of these cities and how people don't have money. How many of the people in these small towns even have TVs? Yeah. The only way that they know what's going on is to go outside.
Yep. It's a weird, it's a dark world.
Yeah.
That the long walk takes place in. But it's a world that you should go and visit.
Yeah.
It is worth the visit. It's hard, but it's worth the visit. So,
Dave, what would you give The Long Walk? What grade would you give it? Sorry, Dave just walked in.
I heard this one.
Hey, I liked it. I think it deserves a strong B for sure. It's definitely worth a one-time watch. So I need to see it again. Not so much, but I really enjoyed.
There's some that you're like, yeah, one's good.
Yeah.
Whereas I would probably watch it at least 5 more times. All right, take the dog and go.
I would watch it. I will watch it again, but I will watch Civil War again at some point. There are other movies that you just need to see more than once to get everything. So there you go. That is The Long Walk. It is in theaters today, Friday, September 12th. It's hard, but go see it. Don't forget to like us, follow us on social media. Go to the website, vsmoviepodcast.com. Get links to all of our stuff. Val, where can they find you?
Right now, just go to I am Val Cameron on social medias. I am trying to do a lot more on my TikTok. I'm going to be talking about this movie probably this weekend at some point on my TikTok, along with some other films. I recently started watching, and it's taken me forever. I am late to the game in this series. And if you've watched it, Mark, maybe you and I need to talk about it. But it's the, oh my gosh, Hell on Wheels series.
I have not watched Hell on Wheels.
And it's really good, but I feel like it's taking 7 years to get through this 5-season series. So I'm going to talk about that. But on my TikTok, it's Be Deliberate, which is something that I talk about a lot. So if you want to go meet me over on TikTok, that's kind of where I'm starting to be more lately. Movies That Make Us is another podcast that I'm on with a couple of guys. We're doing a charity coming up to raise money for cancer. If you want to join us for that, go to moviesthatmakeus.com. You can learn a little bit more about that. But I like talking with you, Mark. You're one of my faves.
I appreciate it. You will also, Movies That Make Us also has a panel in 2 weeks at FanX. Do you know?
Yes. I will be there for that. I'm doing another panel about being creative, and then I will also be moderating Matthew Modine. So that will be super fun. I'm super excited. It gives me another reason to watch Full Metal Jacket again and Dark Knight Rises and a couple other things I haven't seen in a while. So
there you go.
Join me for that.
Good. I will also be at FanX. I will be. Unfortunately, we just lost David Wenham, but the Lord of the Rings panel still has Miranda Otto and John Rhys Davies. I will be doing the Dragon Ball panel, which should be fun because I know zero about Dragon Ball, but it's two of the artists, Sean Schemmel and another gentleman whose name escapes me for the moment. I'll be sitting on the Monty Python Holy Grail panel, which shout out to Adam for giving up his seat on that. He did not have to do that. And then, of course, A24, Why It Is So Awesome.
I'm going to go watch that one for sure.
The A24?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is A24 so good? Because it is.
Or so bad. Like you either love it or hate it. So great to talk about.
It's very black and white. So there you go. Be good. Stay safe. Go see a movie in the theater, because if you don't, eventually theaters will close and we'll all be watching them on our TV. And that's just not the same. It is not the same as having an audience around you for a lot of these films. So there you go. I'm Mark. That's Val. Thanks for coming again, Val.
Thank you.
And we will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.